back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, writing over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to do a story titled, My Girlfriend Cheated on Me 6 months ago and Constantly Betrayed My Trust. I recently broke up with her in not the best way. Did I do the right thing? And a shout out to Mark for sending this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, like it says, found out she was cheating 6 months ago. But the thing is, it took him a heck of a long time to finally get rid of her permanently. In this situation here, it's as obvious as day. There's a lot of bad things going on. And yet our guy here is just back and forth. And no surprise, once a cheater, always a cheater. And ultimately makes the right choice as he should. But good Lord, does he take a while. As I've been going to go over here, a reminder, guys, that you find out your girl's cheating, end it. Move on. Kick her out. Walk away. Whatever you got to do. Because if you fall for her tears or think like you'll keep her around and have a little fun with her for revenge or I don't know what, it's going to happen again. They're not going to change. That's just how they are. And when you take a girl back after she cheats on you, all you communicate to her is you're weak, that you got nothing else going on, and she'll continue on because there's no consequences. So, starts off, says here, Hi everyone. So I've been with my girl, Brandy, for 2+ years now. And for the first year and a half, everything between us was pretty great. You think it was great, dude. Well, sure, we had our fights and our disagreements. But everything else was great when we were right on the right path, or so I thought. About 6 months ago, I was hanging out with Brandy when she told me that she and her girlfriends were going out that night. Girls' night. Not a big deal, I thought. I could always make plans with some of my buddies. At around 8 p.m., her friend Stacy came by to pick her up. And from my townhouse complex, and Brandy runs out to meet her. I have a fun night with my bros, and all is well. Well, Brandy returns at around 2 o'clock in the morning and crawls into bed with me. But as soon as she did, I had a weird feeling in the pit of my stomach and decided to check her phone messages. What was that weird feeling? He was probably smelling sausage on her breath. That's probably what was going on. While I'm not a fan of this, I had to know if my feelings were off. In other words, he's apologizing for going and checking her phone. Stop doing that, guys. Yeah, and smack to him for doing that. You sent some things up? Check her phone. Well, I was scrolling through the text messages and noticed that my text message string was nowhere to be found, until I realized that my name had been saved as Stacy on her phone. Meanwhile, I saw a text message string from Michael that detailed that they would be going out that night. That night? What happened to the girls' night? Oh, she's pretending to go out with her girlfriends, but she's going out with Michael. I guess he did smell some sausage on her breath. Well, I immediately left the room and with her sleeping and read through all the messages. They've been texting for over a month and seem to have already and relatively developed texting relationship. Her often noting that she was tired in the morning from having long texting conversations with him at night. Meanwhile, I was lucky to receive 10 text messages after I had finished work. Well, so much for his relationship being so great. Maybe in the beginning she wasn't cheating on him, but eventually something changed. I then decided to go through her Instagram messages and saw a trove of sexual memes and messages going back 1 month. It was weird to me since she worked with Michael and told me that the girls thought that he was gay. Obviously a great defense. That is something that a lot of girls will say, be careful that, oh, he's gay. He likes guys. He doesn't like girls, whatever. Now, sometimes they do have a guy friend that actually likes dudes, but sometimes they don't. And it's just a cover. Now, I hadn't read everything, but I had read enough. I woke her up and immediately confronted her. She denied everything until I told her I saw everything, and that if she cared about having a 1% shot at saving this relationship, she should tell me everything. I got no problem with that because I would just lie through my teeth. I'd be like, hey, if you want to save this relationship, you better come clean. And once she came clean, I would kick her ass out. I would not be relinquishing her phone until she told me everything. Well, as you can probably assume, she tried to deny it and say it was nothing. Well, of course. The old deny, deny, deny. When that doesn't work, cry, cry, cry. I would leave the room, read more, and then say, Brandy, tell me everything or there is no shot. Eventually, she told me that she'd gone on a date with him earlier the month before, and she told him that we were broken up. How interesting. Of course, I said, well, according to you, we are broken up, so get the fuck out of my place. There you go, good for you. It took her a while packing, and through the tears, she would say that she's so sorry. What'd I tell you? Deny, deny, deny? And now they're crying. I told her she was just sorry because she got caught. She would have never told me, to which she did agree that she had not planned on me finding out. Finally, some honesty. Well, they never think they're going to get caught. They'll just keep doing it because it's exciting. It's a drug. They have the stable guy who is their boyfriend or husband, who they pays the bills they live with, and they have their fun on the side. They are selfish assholes. Get rid of her. I told her there'd be no way to get my trust back, and if we were to get back together, I would never marry her, which was her lifelong dream. I would never trust her and require her phone, password, and Instagram logged into my phone. I'd have massive strict rules for every interaction she had, and I would never be able to message. She'd never be able to message any guy again. Well, that's not a relationship. That's like basically a prison term. It's not going to work. Of course, I thought she would say, okay, this is not worth it, since there is no way that it's not a functioning foundation for a relationship. Well, she agreed and said she would do anything. Of course she said that because, in her mind, one, her emotions were doing all her thinking. And number two, she's thinking, he'll never go along with this. Me being my stupid self and still madly in love with Brandy, said I would need a few days to think about it. Smack! Are you nuts? What do you think she's going to do? Well, a few days later, I said I would give her a trial run and see how it went. I know. Yeah, well, smack. Gee, how do you think this is going to go, guys? He just showed her, he can have proof that she's cheating. She can put on the waterworks, agree to anything he says, and boom, he ain't breaking up with her. Well, let's see what happens. Place your bets. So she logged her info into my phone. She sent a message to Michael saying that she had lied to him and was dating me for 2+ years, and that he should never message her again. She blocked him on all social media, phone, etc. And for good measure, deleted a large portion of the men off of her social media accounts. I said, thanks for the signs of remorse, but still, not going to trust you. You can't talk to guys, etc., etc. Well, the next month, she is lying in bed with me, and again, I get a funny feeling in my stomach. Again, you're smelling more dick on her breath, huh? And it ain't your dick. I swear I am really spot on with these. I pick up her phone and see she's texting a woman I don't know. Well, it's all innocent stuff about concerts and her job. But again, I don't feel right about it. I note the woman's phone number and save it to my phone. I then ask Brandy who this woman was, and she lets me know that she's a new person at work, Stephanie. Oh, well, nothing to worry about since it's Stephanie. Still, I was feeling weird about it. And the next day, I called the number and received the voicemail of a guy who had previously caused a contention in the relationship. I don't feel bad for you anymore, jackass, because you should have ended it with her. You really think she's going to change? Duh. So I call her at work and ask her to tell me more about the woman she was texting, and midway through the lie, I let her know that I know. Again, she says, it was innocent. It was about nothing but concerts, and we're just friends. To which I reminded her of the rule, no talking to any other men. Period. Full stop, and that we are now through. Okay. Good for you. He's finally going to end it and be done with her forever. No. Again, the same song and dance. She promises to delete him. Delete him? That doesn't sound very good. I said, you already said that you would not message him. But again, in my really silly brain, I say, okay, delete him, yada, 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 and we'll continue to try. Smack! You're a freaking bonehead. The hoo-ha can't be that good. Her ass can't look that good in a pair of jeans, dude. What the hell's the matter with you? There are no other girls out there? Well, I guess not. You're in the fucking Smurf village. The only chick is Smurfette, and she's effing all the other Smurfs. Well, the next 4 months go by without a hitch. So you think. More or less, a few arguments about me being controlling, to which I aptly state, yes, I know 110% I'm being controlling. That is literally the only reason we're together. This is not fun for me, etc., etc. She has the gall to give him a hard time of being controlling, even though she's the reason this guy is controlling. It's amazing. Well, about a month ago, she starts getting on me, saying I have to be married in 2 years. I need to be engaged in 1 year, etc., etc. To which I reply, that is insane. It's not been 5 months since you shattered an already shattered foundation of trust. Plus, I said I would never marry you. Well, at least he's sticking to his guns with that one. So she says she wants some space to think about everything and to consider what is going on, and she wants to stay in this relationship. I know the irony, but I say take all the time in the world. Dude, would you end this thing for goodness sake almighty? This is ridiculous. See, gents, I know he's frustrating you, but this is a cautionary tale what not to be. I mean, it's amazing how you can have a relatively intelligent guy and even have common sense and street smarts, but all it takes is a pretty girl that pays attention to him and even wants to get in a relationship and do some things to him when he's butt naked with her, and all common sense goes right out the fucking door. Or they see the tears. Well, I get a text from a friend the next day, and he found her profile on a dating app. Well, that didn't take long. I obviously asked her what is up, and she lets me know that since she is single now, this is what single people do. I was bamboozled that it had been one day, and I was under the assumption we'd be working things out. Smack! Well, this guy is not one with common sense. Dude, nobody feels bad for you, bro, at this point. So she deletes the app and the login. Meanwhile, all evidence of me had been removed from her social media, and I questioned this, and she says she isn't sure about us, so those will stay off. Now it's like she's the one in charge. Finally, a couple weeks ago, we had plans to hang out at 1 p.m. I text her, and no response. I call her, no pickup. I received a text at 3 p.m. that her work started late, and she will be late. Meanwhile, I had seen her on Instagram liking pictures, etc. I said, couldn't you have sent me a message and told me this? Well, now she doesn't want to hang out, but would rather hang out with her friends. Who the fuck cares? And oh yeah, we know what happens when she hangs out with her friends. It means she's got Michael's dick in her mouth. Anyway, something finally clicks. What am I doing here? I say, if that's your decision, I'm done. And I'm not kidding around this time. She says, okay, assuming I'm bluffing. Well, you can't exactly blame her because every time you say you're going to break up with her, you're like, okay. The waterworks gets you, and you're right back to square one. She's cheating on you again. I don't blame her. She's probably laughing with her girlfriends like, this guy's a fucking idiot. I say, Brandy, if you want your stuff, you can pick it up. I'm blocking you and everything. Mind you, this was all over text. She doesn't respond. I then block her and everything. Well, she had my email and then went off on how I'm throwing away 2 years down the drain. And she says I'm a coward for breaking up over text. I don't know that I should have at least met her at all. I say that she ditched me, etc., etc. So I guess I'm asking, am I the a-hole? I mean, I know this is all one-sided, and I definitely had my faults. But I don't think that I'm being an a-hole. I ended over text, but clearly this was not working out. So, am I the a-hole? Should I have done this differently? Thank you. Smack, smack. Dude. And I almost started dropping F-bombs here, but I got to watch what I say. Someone on YouTube minimize the profanity, because YouTube's already a pain in the butt about things. No, you're not the a-hole. You're the a-hole because you kept taking her back. And that's why she kept jerking you around. Except she wasn't jerking you around in the way you want her to jerk you around. She was jerking you around the way you don't want to be jerked around. That's what people do when they don't respect you. So, no, you're not the a-hole for breaking up over text. She's done way worse to you. So this time, for all that is sacred and holy, be serious about your breakup with her. You packed up her shit, put it out in the porch, put it down on the curb with the garbage in the recycling bin. I don't care if it's raining or snowing or whatever. And that's it. Be done with her and move on. And don't fall for this, you're wasting 2 years crap. This is ridiculous. And in the future, when you find a girl cheating or behaving in a way that's crossing boundaries, you end it and move on. She had your number from the get-go that you were going to keep jerking you around. You wouldn't get rid of her. That's why she was doing that. That's probably why she started cheating in the first place, because she lost all respect for you. Now, she is a piece of crap. We can all agree there. But this dude here isn't helping himself. So anyhow, guys, there you go. Cautionary tale. I know this guy drove you crazy. I can imagine all the comments. SSM, don't give this fucker attention, blah, blah, blah. The simp stories. I gotta do this because, guys, you must understand what guys do and the stupid shit they pull. And I know many of you guys are like, I would never do this, SSM. I've heard enough of these stories before. Yeah, sure, until a pretty girl starts paying attention to you. Your dream girl, if you will, who have you built up in your head as your dream girl. And you're thinking, I don't need to listen to those stories. They're bullshit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then the same crap happens to you. So that's why I share these stories on occasion. I want to, minimize the simp stories, but I got to do them on occasion. So there you go, guys. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.